Hi, this is Edith, Educational Technologist at Oregon Tech, and in this video I want to go over what happens when you insert like pictures or tables or items within a document. This should work for PowerPoint and Excel as well, but I will double check that, and if I'm wrong, I will definitely do another video to kind of go over that a little bit more for you. So what happens when you are inserting items into documents, you will get another tab that will pop open, and it just depends on the type of object that you're going to put in. So like here, I can insert a table, and say I have a table and I want it to be about this big. So I have the ability to do, I have a new tab that shows up, which is the Table Tools tab. And I can select the type of design. So I actually get a design, and I also get a layout tool for the Table Tools. So I can actually go in and change the style if I like it better this way. I can have a header row. If I don't want a header row, then I can turn that off, a total row. So if you want to do a grand total, I can do banded rows. That just kind of helps, I think, a lot with knowing where you are in the table document. Sometimes, if you don't have these differences, it's sometimes hard to tell where you're at. So this is, of course, a personal preference on that. Because it's what works best for you, not what works best for me. Do you want a first column or not? Do you want a last column or not? So like if you want a subtotal over here and then do the total down here, you can do that as well. And then again, we're back to the banded columns. So it does change the columns versus the rows, so that they're a little bit different as well. It just may be a good way of organizing for you. I can't honestly say otherwise. Shading, so that will change the color of the shade for you. If you didn't like the blue, you can change it to a different color. You want to just be able to highlight it in some way as different than the rest of the document. You have border styles, so I can perhaps do, if I select the whole table, which is this little icon right there. You see a shortcut menu as well. When I click on that, I think you might have seen it. Now I can't get it back, but that's okay. So I can change the border style. So say I want them to be like that instead of the other way, so it'll show up that way. Let's see if we can make this a little bit bigger so it's a little bit more noticeable. So again, I can click here. There was that again. I could pick the line style, so perhaps I want it to be a little bit more noticeable at that point. I can also do pen. If you have a pen choice or you are able to use a pen. I have not used this before, but it is definitely something that you can play with. And then, of course, you can change your borders this way. Borders and shading is always a good place to go in. So you can actually select, do you want it everywhere? It will show you let's see here, let's go in here. It will show you the line style. Like this is in between lines, and it gives you a preview, top, bottom, diagonals, left, center, right, or none. Unfortunately, it doesn't have an all button, so oh, I'm sorry, that's the other diagonal. You can select none. I'm sorry, here's the all, so you can do it this way. You can do a grid, you can do a custom. So this is just a good way of playing with how you might want the document to look. So there you can see it with all the changes that I had created. And so we can go to layout, and then I can also choose to view grid lines or not view grid lines. I can select the document. So if I find it easier to select right here, but if you're just selecting a certain area, you can click on your select cell, and then only the cell is selected. If I select the whole document, I can turn off the grid lines or turn on the grid lines. It's somehow not allowing me to do that, but perhaps because I don't have grid lines per se in this document. I can go into the properties. I can also change things around in here. I can specify the row heights. That is definitely up to you how you want to do that. Same with cell height width. You could do a cell, how you want the alignment in the cell, and alternative text. So just read about what it is and how it's useful to you there. You can also delete cells, delete columns, delete rows. It deleted the whole thing because I had it all highlighted, but say I just want to delete this row, I can actually just click and say delete that row, and then it's gone. I can also insert a row above, I can insert a row below, I can insert a column, I can insert that way. I can also merge these cells. So this is similar to Excel in that sense. I can split the cells. That's if you want a different kind of style here. Perhaps you want a header for these two things here. I could split the table, and so now I have two tables instead of just one. Auto fit, you can auto fit the contents. I would recommend using that if you are unclear on how to do a column or or a row height. I prefer having that on just because it will move along with my tags, but you can also fix it. It's up to you. Here's where you can also fix it yourself if you want to make different sizes. You can definitely do that through here. And that's the width, it's not the height. I was assuming it was the height, but I can also change my height this way. I could distribute the columns evenly, rows evenly, columns evenly. Again, alignment. We talked about alignment in the border area, but you can also, or not in the border area, in the properties area. You can also do it here. So this is the types of alignments you have available, top left, bottom right, that type of thing. You can change the text direction if you have text in there, since I don't have any in there, but you can change it. We can always just try it. Okay, so I can actually highlight that and I can change the direction. Sometimes it's good, especially if you want something to go horizontal versus, something you want the text vertical instead of horizontal, so say, hey, help save space. Cell margins, so what you could do is you can change the cell margins. You can also put a spacing in there. Say you want more space between the columns, you can change that as well, and then automatically resize to fit contents. So that's what it looks like with an extreme cell padding in there. I can sort my data. If I had something in the data, I can just sort it on there. And again, this is very similar to Excel. So if you're familiar with Excel, you can definitely, you'll be able to manipulate the data tables very well. And then, of course, convert to text. Convert table to text with tabs, and then how you want it separated. So if you want to put it into a text document versus a table, so it'll actually just make it like a picture for you, but you can still edit it. And then of course you can put in formulas. That's the same as if you were in Excel, but you would need to know what your formula is. 2 plus 2. And what type of number format you want. So perhaps I want it with that, and just say okay. And so that now gave me that answer instead of showing me the formula. So that's how you would use tables, and that's true in Microsoft PowerPoint. And again, I might do another video because there might be some differences in there. So I am going to move on now to inserting a picture. If I insert a picture, so my favorite one to go to is, of course, the Oregon Tech. I get a new toolbar. I can format with the toolbar. I can remove background if I choose to do that. And you can see it'll give me this kind of screen, and then I would mark the areas to keep or mark areas to remove. So like I can mark right in here that I want this all removed, and it will remove it for me. And so I can delete the mark and keep changes, and now you can see I've actually you know, manipulated the picture a little bit. And then you can also do corrections. And so there's plenty of corrections that you can go with if you want to just kind of change the style. You can also change the color. And I'm going to go ahead and stop this video. So let's see. I'm going to head and